1 power. Your tier 1 power is overwhelming me, bro. Your tier 1 power is
I'm
overwhelming
going to
me.
ask you this question
I'll
one
follow
more
your tier
time,
1
okay?
power.
Is it the case you
Bro,
could speak to me raw for the recorded?
Dude, chill. Are you going to actually pick a topic, or are you going to keep
I
overwhelming
just
me with
picked a
your tier 1
topic. I
power?
told you the topic to pick
Yeah,
one. What are you
okay.
talking about?
Hello, it's
My
just so
topic,
simple.
my topic,
Hello,
my
hello,
topic
Do
is
you
hello,
think
hello.
Apollo's the
my
best debater,
topic.
Shinra?
Hold on, Billy. I'm gonna do
Do
a
I
game
think
right now
Apollo's the
because
best
this guy's
debater?
lying.
No. But I just
Shinra,
need the guy
Okay,
to
honestly,
defend
you
the
would say
entire
he's not.
any
service
You would say
instead
topic.
of
he's
just
not the best
My
dividing
debater.
topic
himself.
is me being above the 2 debaters you have above me in the tier list, which is Sin
Yeah,
and
I
Aaron. That's the
don't
topic.
care to argue with you about your own placement. Do you have
Oh, so
anything
I picked the
interesting to
topic,
talk
right? I
about?
picked the
Like,
topic just to be
yeah,
clear.
like Apollo, look,
Pick the
What
topic.
you
about
have
Shinra's?
yourself.
What about Shinra's placement? What about
Apollo,
Shinra's
you have
placement?
yourself 6 inches inside your own mouth. Like, I don't care to keep arguing with you about
You're
your own
babbling right now.
placement.
You're just
What about
Like, are you
Shinra's
going to
placement?
actually talk
right
about
now. You're not
your
making
tier
any fucking
list
sense,
instead of
okay?
talking about
Are you gonna duck the
how
topic?
Apollo is the
Are you
greatest?
going to
Like, you
duck
know
the
yourself
topic?
the king
Are you
Apollo, and
going to
nobody's
duck the
ever told
topic?
you that.
You
Has
Nigerian
anyone ever
monkey. Are you
actually
gonna keep
called
on
you
ducking the
TKA
topic? Are you gonna
except
keep
for
on ducking the
yourself?
topic? You
Has
dumb fuck.
anyone
You
actually called you the legend of
Then when
debating
you get
except for
aggressive in
yourself?
voice called,
Nobody
you
calls
run and
you that.
sprint away like a
Nobody
bitch.
calls you that.
Are you going
Apollo,
to debate
nobody
the
calls you
topic?
that.
Are
Apollo,
you
does
going
anyone
to
call you
debate the
the king?
topic?
Apollo,
Yes or
does anyone
no?
call you the
Answer
king?
the
Apollo,
question.
does anyone call you a
Answer the
king?
question.
Apollo, does anyone call you a
No?
legend of debating? Apollo, does anyone call you a legend of debating? Apollo,
Shut
who
the fuck,
calls
you
you a legend
monkey.
of
Answer my
debating
question,
outside of
retard.
yourself?
Answer my
Apollo,
question,
who calls you a
retard.
legend
Are
of
you
debating
ducking?
outside of yourself?
Okay, duck
You
session
went from
accepted.
saying, wait,
Duck
hold on.
session
You went
accepted.
from saying
Duck
polls
session
are
accepted.
unreliable,
Duck
there are so
session
many
accepted. We can
biased
debate to
people
the abortion,
against you,
Shinner.
to
Shinner,
saying,
we can
oh
debate to
my
the abortion.
God,
Shinner,
Apollo, I
we can
want
debate to the
polls.
abortion.
I want polls and
Shinner,
Jester, and
we
I
can
want
debate
YouTube
on
polls
full
and
life.
Printer. Like, bro, just get a job. Like, stop being a fucking jobber, socially inept retard, and actually focus up on
This
what's
guy's like
being
actually
talked about.
horrible at debating.
That's
Like
a
he's
fucking
horrible
idiot,
at rhetoric,
bro.
bro.
Like,
You
you're
are
wasting my
super
time.
A
You're wasting the
person.
people
So
in
I'm
the
gonna just
VC's
put you like a
time. You're
kindergarten.
wasting my good time, yeah.
Are you going to
Shinra,
debate
what's a
Personally,
topic from the list
your
that you
tier
would
list
like
and
to
me
talk
below
about?
the debaters if me below? Yes or no?
and I'll give him the disagreement, and then
I
we can
got
talk
you. I'll
about
do it
that.
for
So
him.
one,
I'll do it
So
for
nervous
him.
in the conversation. You
yes,
small
please
frog.
tell the kid to
Shut
post
up,
his
grease
tier list.
mouth.
Thank
Just my
you.
question.
So,
Are we gonna address my question?
first of
Are
all,
we gonna
we
keep on
have
ducking?
that D1 kid. I
He's
don't know how that
admitted to
D1 kid's above
dodging.
Jessica.
He's
Yes,
dodging. Yes.
Apollo. Yes, Apollo. I am
Shit.
dodging you, bro. I am
Use
dodging. I'm
better
dodging. I'm
avenues.
dodging.
I'm
I'm
gonna
dodging. I'm
save you,
dodging.
Sinner. You're not
I'm dodging. I'm
built
dodging.
like
I'm
that.
dodging, bro.
You're not
I'm
built like
dodging. I'm dodging. I'm
He's
You're
dodging.
not
dodging.
I'm
He's
built
dodging.
trying
like
to
that.
go to a place where he could
Come
perhaps
on,
like
fatty.
do something
Come on,
more.
fatty.
Yeah.
The game
I'm dodging. I'm a low tier. I'm going to somewhere where I can actually win.
He's trying to
Okay.
He's
redirect
running right now.
your
He's
debater
running
energy.
right
Yeah,
now.
I'm trying to redirect. I'm trying to redirect it to one power. Right? Like
Just
I'm trying to
keep
disperse
talking.
it.
Holy
I'm
shit.
trying to disperse it to a place in which you're maybe tier 3, so I can weasel out a win, kid. Alright, so
Let's debate
Apollo,
on
look,
abortion.
I
Since
came here
Shinra, do
to
you want to
talk
do
about your
abortion
tier
with
list,
him?
bro.
Shinra, do you want to do
And my
abortion with him?
No. I
No.
won't talk about the thing I got in VC for. I won't talk about the thing I got in VC
backhanded.
for.
We can debate.
I won't talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo,
what does it take from the tier list that you want to talk about?
Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Apollo, I want to talk about the thing I got in VC for. Wait, hold on. Are you asking me to pick the topic now? Okay, bet. We can talk about half of the placements on the Steelers. Why is D1 that high? Why is D1 that high? Why is Single that low?
He said he doesn't want to do abortion.
Wait,
He said he doesn't want to do abortion.
why is D1
He's
that
dodging
high?
that
Why is
topic
Single
too.
that low? Why is Shiki that? Why is Shiki that there? Why is Taco there? Why is Gizbob there? Why is C there? Why is Fox there? Why is Demi there? Why is Trini there? Why is Moose there? Why is Michael
He's
there?
giving you many
Why is
topics.
Dizzy there? Why is Tegan there? We can
He said
talk
he doesn't
about
want to
why.
do abortion.
We can talk about why Fox is just extremely Fox place. Like Fox is too low and too high at the same time. Moose is too high. Nightclaw is too low and too high. high. Alcohol's too low and too high. Bubbles is too low and too high. UM's just too high. Arrow's too high. Six is too low. Valor's too high and low. Justice too low. Archie's too high.
He's trying to affirm
Shaky's
many things
too
that he
low.
thinks are flawed on your tier list. That's what he's
Yeah,
trying
and
to do.
you guys isn't following. Like, dude, you take a shower 2 times a week and you aren't following the conversation. You take a shower 2 times a week and you get angry whenever people say that you lose debates. You are getting this heated because I said you lost the debate to Eric. You need to find a new hobby because you unironically have no friends who actually associate with you or anything outside of debates.
Yes.
Yes, I think he lost to Eric in their debate.
Apollo, he
I'm not going
believes
to
that he lost
speak
to
to
Eric
a
in
guy
their debate.
who has his entire rectum inside of his throat because he's too busy picking his own head in his ass. Like, yo,
Hold on.
He's like
Apollo.
choking over his
Hold on.
words. Like, this is
Wait. Apollo.
I need the kid to talk about something that's unrelated to himself for half a second. Fucking beg, bro.
Oh my god, this is horrible. Look, what topic?
Apollo, he. Oh my god. All right. Apollo, he thinks that you lost to Eric. Is that a topic you'd want to talk about?
Oh, definitely. Shinra, educate me on
No,
that.
I already told
Which,
you. I'm
hold
not
on now,
talking
real
about
quick, before we do this,
no,
I need to hear from Shinra. Which, hold on. I need to hear from Shinra first. Which of the debates, like the first one or the second one or both?
I don't want to talk about the kid about his own debate, bro.
Y-
I want to talk to the kid about his own debate. The entire reason he's going so heated.
You were blurting that out.
Lost to Eric.
Mm.
Anyways, but
Wait.
I'm willing to talk about to I'm willing to talk to him about like almost every single other placement on this. I have higher perms than you, by the way, but I'm willing to talk to him about most of the placements on this tier list. But I'm not talking to the guy with his own head in his ass about his own fucking debates, bro. Like, he needs to stop begging there. Oh my god!
I keep on getting muted, but I can just
You
unmute
lost
myself
the
from now on. Look, Shinra, it's so convenient, bro. Just keep on ducking. Just keep on squirming away, bro. So anyway, what specifically
Is
is the
this
topic
rhetoric?
you want to debate on? It's so
Is
funny
this
to talk
rhetoric?
this much shit about someone,
Is
but the way
this
they
rhetoric?
presses you on your own
Is
claim,
this rhetoric?
you run away.
I'm shaking.
You wanna,
Apollo, I'm
I think that
shaking.
bitch by Eric, but
Apollo,
I'm
I
gonna run
am
away when he
shaking.
pressed me,
Apollo, I
talking
am
about the
shaking.
debate. That's so convenient,
Apollo,
Shinra.
I am
That is so
shaking.
convenient.
Apollo, I am
Roasting
shaking.
right
I am
now.
stuttering.
Right now,
I
bro.
am
Look at
shaking in my
all
boots.
fired up and shit,
My
bro.
jaw is clackering. I am unable to follow and keep up. Like, is this what you want to hear from me? Like, dude, is this what fuels your ego enough so that you actually engage in something? Apollo, I'm shaking. I can't keep up with your tier 1 stench. I can't keep up, bro.
Are you willing to
Wait,
debate an
hold on.
abortion?
We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for.
Hold on.
We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for. We'll go talk about the thing I go in VC for.
Apollo, do you want to let him?
The answer
Apollo,
was
do you want to let him
no.
try to
Apollo,
press
the
you on
answer
various
was no.
placements on your list?
The answer was no, Apollo. The answer was no.
The
Apollo,
answer was no to every single topic I proposed, just to be clear of this.
Yes, the answer is no. No.
So you're willing to debate every other person on debate. Oh, I want to debate you on your debate. I want to debate you on abortion. I want to debate you on this. I want to debate you on that. When it comes to big boy Apollo,
Did I do that? Did I do that? Maybe you have a different purge sunless, you know. Maybe there's a different purge sunless in the server, right? Maybe that would be the excuse for why you aren't following. Look, there's an entirely different purge sunless in the server. Maybe you're mistaking me with him, right? You know, maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's
Apollo, would
because
you
when
like to
you
allow
put
Shinra to
another
try to
finger
press you on
inside,
various
it's like
placements
a
on your tier
finger
list?
you would too, like maybe that was it. Is that it? What's this? My mic still muffled? Is my mic still muffled? Yes or no? Yes or no? Testing.
I can hear you. I can
Is my
hear
mic
you.
still muffled? Is my mic still muffled?
I
Okay,
can hear
it
you.
is. Okay.
That is so crazy.
Give me a second.
That is so crazy, Shinra. It's actually so convenient.
Hello. Is my mic still muffled? Is my mic still muffled? Hello.
It's not muffled. Your
Hold on.
mic is fine. It's not muffled anyway.
Apollo, would you like to
No.
allow Shinra to try to press you on various placements on your tier list? Yes or no?
Excuse me, villain?
And Shinra's like main objective is to try to press you on like various placements on your list. Like he's gonna tell you you're wrong about
Bro.
like a number of placements. Would you like to let him do that? That's kind of what he's like yapping about.
But I'm the one challenging him. What is he talking about? What specific thing do you have? What specific thing on my?
He's the challenge. No, you're Sakuna, bro. He's the challenger. Like, come on now.
that was so corny.
What
specific thing on my tier list?
Who do you think you are, kid? Who do you think you
Be
are?
progressive, Shinra. Answer the question. Be progressive, Shinra.
Sorry.
Placements.
I'm sorry, bro. Your one is pressing me.
Which things on the list would you like to oppose, Shinra?
Noodles is too high, Juju is too low, Single's too low, Tensor's too low, Archie's too high, Jester's too high and too low, Valor's too high, Six is too low, Arrow's too high, D1's too high, Bubbles is too high, Taco's too high, Nightclaw is Nightclaw, Chaos is too high, Mercury, I don't know why he's there, like, I have no clue why he's there, right? Mercury is too low, Marshmallow is too high, Gizmob's too high, Charlie Cook, who the hell
Can you condense this a little bit, Shinra? What are some of the most...
Right now. You said Jester's too high and too low. I can just explain what.
Yeah, sure. Why is Single Phoenix that low? Why is Single Phoenix
what's the biggest flaws?
Too high, too low.
The biggest issue is D1's too fucking high, bro.
Wait, hold on. I don't care about your biggest issue. I'm debating it on your gesture opinion. You said Jester's too high.
Shinra, do you realize you contradict yourself by saying he's too high and too low?
No, he's higher than people he's supposed to be below. Okay, he's higher than people he's supposed to be below, and below people he's supposed to be higher than.
Now let's debate on your gesture opinion. Let's go. You said Jester's too high and he's too low. Let's debate on it.
Yeah, sure. Why is Jester below D1?
Okay, that's irrelevant. I take the position that your claim is false.
Okay, the reason why I hold that opinion is because I have not seen any performance from Jester. Shut your mouth, you thug. So the reason why I hold that opinion,
I think Shinra thinks that he's below some people that he should be above, and above some people that he should be below.
Yeah, we need to put the dog on a leash.
Sorry.
The conversation. Shinra, you said he's too high and he's too low. That's a contradiction.
Wait, okay, why is that a contradiction? I'm confused.
Because what it means for someone to be too high is that they should be high or they should be lower. And what it means for you to say that someone is too low is that they should be higher. So what you're basically saying here is that they should be higher and they should be lower at the same time. And that's a contradiction.
Did you hear my explanation on what I meant when I said that?
Your explanation for the claim is relevant to what the claim means itself.
Wait, hold on. What do you think? What do you think I said when I was asked about the meaning?
I just told you. I told you what you just said. Confused.
Wait, you told me what I said when I was asked about the meaning?
I told you what you said specifically.
Wait, then why did you say you told me what I said when I asked the same question 2 seconds ago?
That's irrelevant to whether or not there's a contradiction.
Are you lost?
I'm not
Apollo,
lost.
if I say an apple is and is not an apple at the same time. And by apple, I mean fish. And by is and is not, I mean dog and poop. That is clearly not a contradiction, right?
Just my point.
It would have to be Apollo. It would have to be dealing with what the intention is of the actual statement, right?
He doesn't. He's attempting to argue against the idea.
Yeah, he's not following. Apollo, you're concluded.
You don't think that's a contradiction?
He thinks it's not getting what he means by the terms.
Well, Apollo, whether or not it is not a contradiction depending on how I mean it. So, don't conclude, kid. Don't conclude, kid.
Right now. So again,
for example, if I say P and not P, if I say P and not P, and I'm not, if I'm saying P and not P, and I do not actually intend to affirm any sort of proposition, and then I'm asked about my semantics, and I do not relay any sort of proposition within my semantics. Clearly, that wouldn't be. Clearly, that still wouldn't be a contradiction.
You're not talking about
because the thing I'm intending there is not to relay a proposition. Do you want to conclude?
What's the demonstration for the claim that you're not intended to assert a proposition?
But when I was specifically when I was asked about the meaning, I portrayed it in a way in which the proposition was not both affirming or denying.
In which the proposition concession accepted. You're portraying the
Wait,
proposition.
hold on. Where's the
You are
concession?
stupid as fuck. Wow,
Hold on, where's
that
the
was a
concession?
quick concession right there, you stupid bastard. So you're portraying the proposition in a way, blah, 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 blah. So you are portraying a proposition. You are shit. Shinra, you're like actually. This is like the worst performance I've come across this year.
I didn't say. Look, Apollo. I didn't say that I wasn't portraying a proposition. I was saying what I was saying was. In a situation in which somebody per se makes a statement, right, and the intention they have behind the statement is not to relay a proposition, and it is not a contradiction, right? And whether or not it is or is not a contradiction is dependent on the person's intentions whenever they are making the statement. You understand the words that
How
just
is this
came out of my
relevant
mouth?
to you conceding that you're from a proposition?
Okay, so hold on. That was okay. The reason why I got down to the was not because I was making a claim that was not trying to portray.
You said that gesture is too high.
What I was saying was that I was giving an example
to be X. So that's you conceding that you're
like, are you just not following because you're too focused on trying to get?
I agree that it's the affirmation and negation of said proposition.
Try again, please, and thank you.
Caller, I'm not agreeing that I'm affirming or denying the same position. Oh my god! Oh my god! This guy's lost. This guy's lost.
Shinra, did you affirm a proposition?
He said no, he wasn't from the proposition. Oh, you were
yes.
you're from the proposition. So what did you mean by you were not from the proposition when you're talking about gestures placement? That's what he said. Yes, he did.
Repeat my exact words back to me.
Did he not say this? He was not from the proposition when they attempted
No. Repeat my exact words back to me.
I'm not sure if it'll be in the
I'm
recording.
gonna repeat it for you, slow boy. Did you not say that you're not from the proposition?
Back to me, kid.
Wait, hold on.
Repeat my exact words back to me, kid.
To ask someone to repeat a question, but then you
repeat my exact words back to me. Kid, look. You have how will serve you when you're unpacking the debate, bro. How will serve you when you're unpacking the debate, bro? Please.
You're gonna stop talking. Spare the question. So the question is simple.
Hold on. You just said I'm actually obeying my commands, boy.
You were not a permanent
Don't listen to me, slave.
when I said that your
Answer my commands now. Answer my commands, bro.
This is just the point.
Shinra, when you say gestures too high and too low, what do you mean?
Okay, so what I mean when I say that is what I said before, which is literally just that he is above people who he should be below, and he's below people who he should be above. So the entire list is just out of whack and not in the order in which it should be. So I'm not saying that he's above the same people he should be below, right? Because that's contradictory. You can't both be above and below the same people at the same time.
I'm asking you to prove this is what you meant by the statement.
To be above certain people, right, and below other ones, but he's not. You're asking me to prove what exactly?
Prove that's what you meant by the statement.
Prove that's what I meant by the statement? Well, I'm telling you. Do you have any good reason to... Can you hear your mic for a second? Do you have any good reason to believe that you'd be being dishonest in this context? I'm confused.
Do I need to have a good reason for me to doubt your claim which has no reason behind it?
Well, I mean, kind of. You do need actual good reason to be able to doubt the honesty of other people. Wait, hold on. So, for example, look, it's like if your mother walks up to you and then she says, "Oh my God, there's a burning building. You need to evacuate now." You're not going to doubt what she's saying without any good reason or good motive to doubt her. Right? So, in the same sort of context, right, there's no good reason you have to doubt the words that are coming out of my mouth. There's no motivation for me to be dishonest. There is nothing implying I'm being dishonest. There's literally nothing that I've said so far that implies I'm dishonest. So unless you give me a good reason, then we can just move on. Okay, then stop speaking while I'm speaking, you black ignorant dog.
He's saying that in a scenario where your mom tells you some shit like, "Oh, I don't know, the groceries are here," right? Saying that you take that.
Like, I don't know, like, bro. I can't even understand what you're saying, bro. Like, fix your
language. You're repeating what I said and you cut him off in the middle of his sentence. This guy can't be real, bro.
What's going on? Are you okay?
This guy can't be real. This guy can't be real.
I got I have 24 on my account.
Crashing out. That's so bad.
This guy can't be real.
He's just trying to give you an example of where we take things like to be accurate with the speaker proclaims about.
Yeah,
the
so
meaning.
He's not following. Apollo, you're completed.
my
Apollo, you're
interpretation of
completed.
language
You have
is
help, bro.
good when people say someone is too low.
Apollo, you're
Right? They mean to
completed.
say
You
that
have
the
help, bro.
person should be higher on the tier list and vice versa. And so if that's what people generally
Wait,
mean by this, we have good reason to doubt the claim you're making, which is that
Yeah, I
you
got
meant something
24 on my
else by
card.
this.
Wait, just give me.
Wait, what was the good reason? Sonic over talking here.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I was saying specifically that here's what my interpretation is of what people mean when they're making the claim that someone is too low on the tier list. When they say someone is too low on the tier list, what they mean there, given my interpretation, which could be wrong, is that it is the case that that person deserves to be higher on the tier list and vice versa. When they say someone is too high in the tier list, what they mean there is that they should be lower in the tier list. And so I think given that interpretation, I think it's very plausible and reasonable. I think that gives us good reason to doubt your specific intentions behind the words that you're using in the conversation. That's really it.
So I'm confused. So is the specific reason
I don't know why
you doubt the words that are coming out of my mouth? Because whenever you say those words, hold on, I let you finish your entire statement, and then usually I start speaking, you start cutting me off, bro. Like what's going on? Anyways,
cutting me off,
look,
I was not even speaking.
the reason, look, wait, hold on. I have a perfect solution to this. I'm just going to do this. Anyways, but look, just because whenever you say a phrase to somebody else does not give you a good reason to doubt whether or not what they mean when they make the statement, or like just doubt their intentions whenever they make the statement, right? Unless whenever they make the statement, it's entirely proprietary and how every other person uses the phrase. It does not align with how they use it, right? Unless that's true, and we have no explanation as to why their interpretation differs so hugely, right? Then maybe that'd be good reason. But simply, simply just appealing, shut your mouth, shut your mouth, shut your mouth, shut your mouth. But simply just appealing to your own private definition and using it as a reason to doubt the words that are coming out of my mouth, I don't understand why I should grant that that's a solid enough basis to actually doubt the words I'm saying.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was like really horrible. Yeah, so anyway, it's just so funny how the Nigerian monkey just keeps on muting me when he was interrupting my points mid-point. That's actually so crazy. So just to get on to the actual point he just made, he said he doesn't see a reason as to why there's a good reason. It's actually so funny because if I have an inductive case of people mean an X, and they use yeah, anyway, so if I have an inductive case of people mean an X when they use the word Y, and you mean something which is not X when you're using that same word in the conversation, that's inductive reason to support the idea that this is not what you mean by this. Now, that would be a good reason, obviously, given the general conventional idea for the good reason is, because a good reason, in most cases, is going to be something which makes a given belief more plausible or more likely than the opposing belief. And the reason I've given is actually make it more likely and more plausible than the opposing belief, considering that reason to be true. So to make the idiotic, moronic, preposterous claim that that's not a good reason, just points out as to why you're actually a lower tier debater than you actually think you are.
He's basically saying there's higher standards when it comes to
debater. And so, wait, hold on. So that's just one point. Just to touch just put the cherry on top. You said specifically that you asked me for the good reason. I asked you for the justification for why it is dialectically necessary for me to have a good reason for the opposing view, for me to question the credibility of your view. I don't need to have a good reason for the opposing view. It could be the case that you have no reason currently for your view, and the absence of reason for your view being correct and incorrect respectively justifies me to be an agnostic on the position instead of me taking the position. So no one needs to present a reason for the opposing position. It is burden switching, just trying to play burden tennis with me. Because
let's get to Shinra's turn.
Yeah, the reason why we need... Okay.
Shinra, go now.
Yeah, so the reason I gave you to motivate the claim I made is simply because it would lead to the absurdity that I described to you. And then you just forgot what the absurdity... Who's doing that?
Who was that?
You just forgot what the absurdity was because you weren't tracking. But the other thing is, look, where's the inductive case? That's all I care about. You said that there's some inductive case which gives you good reason. So where is it? And the fact that supposedly you felt the need to...
He's saying it's just invention what most people mean by the terms.
Yeah, wait, can you prove most people mean what he said whenever they use the term? I'm confused. Does he have evidence or is there a statistic? Yeah, Apollo, is there evidence? Is there a statistic?
Alright. I mean, I guess we'll go to Apollo.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad you realized this. Well, Demar's not in the voice call, but yeah, I'm glad people is realizing that the server is just on my dick for no reason. So the evidence can pretty simply just be ChatGPT. I could just use ChatGPT as evidence. Just ask ChatGPT, is it the case that this is true? And if it says yes, then it's actually going to be evidence in favor of my position. That's number one.
Oh.
And secondly, I'm not affirming the claim that this is actually what people means, generally speaking. I'm saying it's a conditional. So if we actually have this reason, and I said if this reason is to be true, and this reason being the inductive case that I presented, then it would be the case that that's a good reason. You're asking why is it a good reason specifically? That means is it a good, like under the condition of it being true, would it be the case that I would be rationally motivated and believe the contrary, and that would be true. Right now, me saying it's a good reason for X is not me necessarily making the claim that the reason itself is true. Right? You can have a good reason for believing something, but it is a case that the reason itself is not true. Just so long as that reason, under the condition of it being true, is something which is probability guaranteed, or it guarantees the probability of the conclusion, or the certainty of the conclusion being talked about. So you failed to track the fact that just simply I was not even making an affirmative claim on the fact that yes, this is in fact true, that most people mean by this. I said, given my personal belief, right, which may be incorrect. And then I also specified if the reason is to be true. So I'm not upholding that position. You strawmanned my response. And you also failed to respond to the most important point of the conversation currently, which is why it is the case that one ought to have a reason for the opposing view, for them to actually be justified to be skeptical of your view, which potentially is
so you're
no
on
reason.
more pure agnosticism. That's gotcha. All right, Shinra, he's
I just have
agnostic in virtue.
a few simple requests. Yeah, I just have a few simple requests. Just show me the ChatGPT statistic that shows that whenever people are making Discord debate tier lists, right? Whenever they say somebody is too low, what they are saying is the interpretation you gave me. That's one. And then two, all I just have to ask you is, look, did you listen to the example I gave you before? The example I gave you before was simple. Just because people have the example I gave you before was quite literal. It wasn't even that hard to understand. Okay, fuck you, Anubis, right? But look, it was literally just if your mom comes up to you and then she says that there's a burning building, you need to evacuate now, or else you will die and get molested by Jester. Do you A, sit there and ask her for evidence, right, without any good reason to believe she's lying, or B, do you run out the house? And the answer is B, sir. We can move on, kid. Just also give me the ChatGPT statistic, bro, please.
Yeah, Shinra, it's actually quite sad that you thought I made a statistical claim when no one made such a claim. No one said that ChatGPT would present the statistics. You dumb fuck. I said specifically that if you ask ChatGPT the question, which is is it the case that most people, or what is meant by the term should be higher, is the person should is too low on a specific placement or tier list, it would more than likely say yes. That's what I said. Now, it's saying yes to that question does not indicate that it is presenting or it has to present some statistics. And then from there on, if it does in fact say yes to this question, then it can use like a strong inductive case of AI models being accurate about reality as evidence for it being the case that more than likely this is actually accurate about reality. And so you just completely lost track of what is going on at that point. No one made any claim whatsoever about statistics. All I said was AI would most likely agree with this specific claim, which is plausible to believe in. So you're lost and confused as fuck right now.
And are you going to send him the
number
AI
two, hold on,
data?
wasn't done. The mom analogy point, irrelevant. You'd have to prove that the mom analogy case scenario is analogous to this case, whereas you as a debater, right, and we know for a fact, and you've even granted on numerous occasions that you have bad faith debaters. So considering such, right, we have good reason to believe that you could just be bad faith for the sake of getting a debate W, or copping out or escaping from getting a debate L because you're talking that much trash, and so it would be so embarrassing for her to concede this early on into the conversation after talking this much prior to the conversation. So we can lay out potential motivations and reasons for it to be aligned because of her debater ego, which is consistent throughout this trash community. So you appealing to the mom example is really retarded, because in that case, there doesn't seem to be any good motivation, any plausible motivation for your mom to be lying about the Far case, but there are plausible motivations for you to be lying, right, in this context. So How do you prove the analogous nature of that analogy to this specific case, number one? Number two, how are you able to demonstrate that it is necessary? You have yet to actually address this question, by the cause you made the claim that you asked me to present the reason. How do you demonstrate that it is a dialectical obligation for me to present a reason for the contrary, a good reason for the contrary, for it to be the case that I'm justified in being skeptical towards your position? Again, you have not addressed the case, whereas I could just be skeptical without having a reason for the opposed belief and still be justified in this dialectical activity of mine. So address these 3 points and stop running away from the points.
This dialectical activity of mine, man. Anyways, look, Apollo, I just want to ask, one, are you going to send me the ChatGPT thing? Two, I've never admitted to being dishonest. I don't know where you got that from. Like, I've never admitted to being dishonest. I've never admitted to being bad faith. So, unless you have a screenshot, an unedited, unaltered screenshot proving that I am a dishonest debater, then I'm going to have to take you up on that statement that I have a motive to be dishonest. Three, don't know why I'd ever want a debate win on somebody who has E-sex with Quark. Four, yeah, bitch. Five, I don't really. I'm not yelling, okay, but five, like, look, I already gave you the mom analogy. You said the reason it was disanalogous is because she has no motive to be dishonest, and I do. But again, I haven't seen the motive. Six, whenever I told you what I meant, whenever I said Jester was too high and too low, I said I was referring to completely different people. So he's above people he should be below, and he is below people who he should be above. And so he's both too high and too low, because both of those statements are indexed to entirely different.
That's what's under contention.
But what'd you say?
You said that before. That's what you guys are arguing about.
Yeah, Apollo, if we grant that interpretation, there's clearly no contradiction. But you're again just trying to rat and weasel your way out by saying, "Oh my god."
And what about to his thing that he doesn't need like a rational motivator to like doubt?
He doesn't. Yeah, I already gave him the reason as to why he would need.
Or he's like, excuse me, because he's probably gonna say some shit that he's sufficiently motivated, like just off of kind of like a lack of available reasons to believe what you're saying.
Yeah, the reason to believe what I'm saying, or the reason to believe what I'm saying, is quite literally just
about your meaning, just clarifying.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Repeat the thing he said before, because it's really hard to pay attention to someone so stupid.
He's saying like, well, he was trying to give some reasons in the form of saying like, there's like dishonest debaters and shit. But he's saying he doesn't even need to like have these sort of positive reasons to like, motivate his skepticism about your meaning. That just like in virtue of a lack of you providing sufficient reason to, for him to like know that you mean what you're saying.
Oh no! I've already given him the motivation. I've already given the kid the motivation. Legend of the
No. Him. Okay, you're saying you give him the motivation.
Yeah, I've already given him the motivation.
But do you accept or reject the idea that he needs like some motivation to doubt your meaning?
I reject the fact that I reject the fact that he doesn't need a motivation to doubt my meaning. And the reason is just the reductio I gave him before. Like, obviously, again, the mother case, and then
the mom shit. Okay.
Yeah,
which he thinks is disanalogous. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm totally dishonest. But I expect evidence.
Am I muted?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So I don't know. I remind him of the points. It's his obligation to track the conversation as a debater. He shouldn't be asking for outside help regarding what they've said, because I'm not doing the same thing. Okay, so that's just to get clear on that. I never made the claim that you have admitted to being dishonest. That was the claim I've ever spewed out of my mouth. So that's another track and blunder. You also denied you saying that Jester is too high and too low when I have pinged the message of people quoting you verbatim when you said this, which is Mercury, a guy who doesn't even like me, by the way. Mercury quoted you, by the way, when you said Jester is too high and too low. Villain is also attested to you saying this on the recording, and he is on the recording of you saying this. So when you're going to talk about, the idea that you have never said this, right? The recording debunks what you've said, and the chat debunks what you have said, and my recollection debunks what you have said. So if you're going to lie about this and drop that claim, that's fine. And also, most importantly, you have been going. Hold on, Villain, just stop talking. On this point, you've been going under the presumption that this is your claim and you're trying to clarify interpretation. You even said originally that you're not even trying to portray a proposition, or rather you're not trying to affirm a proposition, but then you conceded afterwards that you're trying to, by this claim, you're trying to portray the proposition, which is XYZ, which is you conceded that you were affirming the proposition. So you messed up yourself on numerous occasions, you tripped over yourself, your collection is inconsistent also, and you're getting caught into your own lies at the moment. So yeah, so you did in fact say this, right? Now you're pressing me on the claim, which I'm not even defending, right? It is not even relevant for me to show any statistics because I'm not even making a statistical claim. I'm just saying most likely. If you ask the AIX, then it will agree that this is what is generally meant by this. Now, if you want to ask for the evidence for that claim, the reason as to why that claim is not even relevant is because the primary point, the primary objection towards your point here, your claim here, right, is whether or not it is dialectically necessary for someone to have an opposing reason for the contrary, for them to be justified in being skeptical towards your claim. You have yet to give any sort of reason whatsoever for why this would be true, for why someone has to have a reason for the opposing belief, for them to actually be justified in being skeptical. Every single time you try to derail, prevaricate from your own burden and ask me proof for claims, which is not even impactful on the overarching conversation itself.
And what do you have for his thing about how, like, his rebuttal to you saying that the mom stuff is disanalogous in virtue of...
I never said that. Asking for the proof for it being analogous. So he's not even tracking again. He just keeps on trying to switch burdens. I said, here's the reason as to why they're different in some sense. I said the reason being that we know debaters lie in this community. We know that debaters have these set of reasons for potentially lying. And then after I give the potential reason as to why this is the case, that the analogies are disanalogous, I didn't mention and ask him the question, which is prove that they are analogous verbatim, and I quote. I asked him for the proof that your mom analogy case is analogous to this debate scenario. And he's just now trying to burden switch. So I'm done speaking.
The kid's a liar. The kid's a liar. He's a bloody liar. We can conclude. Kid's a fucking liar.
Yeah, so is this the end of the rec?
Yeah. So he's a fucking liar.
Alright. Alright now.